Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. Drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment before we get into it. We post 5 videos a week, and this time around we're doing a fun topic, and that's the cut-in series, and this time provided by Hoop Central. You guys already see the graphic, cut 2 players, and the players we're provided with today are, from left to right, Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell, Zach Lavine, Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker, and Jayson Tatum. All fairly young squad.
Fairly young squad. These are, yeah, man, young and they're studs, man, which makes it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like this
with high ceilings.
Yeah, either high ceilings or they're already established per se. We already know what they are for the most part. But one thing we could agree on, man. This list is getting harder and harder, man. Starting with RTNBA.
Yeah,
and then
man,
with this
they
guy.
make it fucking. It's just like, oh, why'd you leave this person out? Why'd you leave? Like, yo, guys, like. Look at the pickings. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy, man. But hey, man, before we get to it, guys, you already know what time it is, man. BTD stats. Andrade, give it to them.
All right. Are we going with this season stats or career average stats for this list?
Let's go with career.
Career?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anyways, you guys see below in the graphic, you guys will get also this season stats. But for the audio, we're going to go with left to right, starting with Ben Simmons, 6'11", point guard, 240 pounds, played 256 games in his career, averaging 16.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, 7.9 assists, 56% from field goal, 15.2 from the three, 60.2 from free throw, totaling 56.1 true field goal percentage. Donovan Mitchell, 6'1", shooting guard at 215 pounds, played 269 games so far, averaging 23.2 points, 4.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 43.9% field goal, 36.4 from the three, 82.7 from free throw, and 50.7 true field goal percentage.
Nice.
Zach Lavine, 6'5", shooting guard, 200 pounds, 398 games played, averaging 18.8 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 45.7% field goal percentage, 38.4 from the three, 82.6 from free throw, 52.4 true field goal range. Then we got Jaylen Brown, 6'6", shooting guard / small forward. He's played 323 games, averaging 14.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 47.2% field goal percentage, 37.5 from the three, 69.4 from free throw, totaling 54% true field goal. And then Devin Booker, 6'5", shooting guard at 206 pounds, 385 games played, averaging 22.8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 45.4% from field goal, 35.4 from the three, 86.9 from free throw, 51.1 true field goal percentage. And lastly, Jayson Tatum, 6'8", small forward / power forward at 210 pounds. Played 267 games, averaging 18.6 points, 6.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 45.5% from field goal, 39.6 from the three, 83.5 from free throw, and 52.2 true field goal percentage.
Yo, safe to say, after listening to all these stats, these guys suck!
They're all averaging more than 50% true field goal, so that's something to say.
And Andrade, I'm surprised he's not out of breath, after doing all of that,
honestly,
man.
I feel like an auctioneer.
Yeah, not even an auctioneer, man. This guy sounds like Bruce Buffer on the UFC, like saying, in the red
Especially
corner.
with the weight and the height.
We got over here. This man is a boxer at 6'4", 6'6".
Hey,
got
it's important to point out too.
Meta World Peace. I mean, Rod Artest. But
Nate Robinson, what?
Jake Paul, what? All right, man. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this, man. Based on everything that we heard right now, we got the stats. Who are you cutting?
I'm cutting, unfortunately, Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons. What about you?
I am cutting your boy, Zach Lavine, and Devin Booker.
Ouch. All right.
I know.
Look, before I get into the details, guys, I just want to state, at least for my involvement when it comes to the cutting, it's a combination of their pure raw talent, their current skill level, their future potential development, at least for what I assume or predict, and then whose game entertains me the most. So this is also going to have it's going to be like 50% objectivity, 50% subjective, because it's like I'm thinking like, okay, if I were to cut these two players out of the league, like whose game am I going to miss most watching? That's something that I'm thinking about. I'm not necessarily thinking who's the current best player, who's going to be the, you know what I mean? What about you?
I say more like what's going to fit more like if I'm building a team. per se.
Okay. Okay. I also kind of have that in the back of my mind with these factors. The build team around though is I keep that more for. Yeah. I mean, we do specific topic. Here's a card right here. We just did one for point guard for Fox and Ball.
Oh jeez, man, that's not easy, man. That's another boy of yours, man. And man, did you go off on him? Shit.
Yeah, I did. They're probably wondering, wait, which one his boys out to go to? Watch the video.
Man, it seems like everybody his boy this day, man. I'm surprised.
I got a list. I feel like every NBA fan has like a list of like their personal favorites or like the ones that they fuck with.
This guy has his
on a different vibe.
His boys, and then he has his side boys per se. Per se, like
type shit.
But all right, man. Why Ben Simmons and why
Donovan?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Look, just picking on Utah, bro. Jeez.
All right, I'm gonna start off with the 4 players that I kept because it helps explain it better. Like earlier on, Zach I kept in because
he's your boy.
He's my boy, partly because he's one of the best dunkers in the league.
That's cute.
I do not want to see him out of the league.
Okay.
2, he's fine. He's living up to his true potential. He's a player that I've seen, like I've been paying attention to since the first dunk contest appearance.
Okay.
And I'm so glad to finally see him like grow into his mold. So out of these 6, he's the one that's actually been like probably most evolved. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like where he started from point A to where he's at in point B.
Yeah, he's definitely shut off. He's more than this dunker.
And even when we point out the stats, especially career stats, it goes to show. And it's like I still think he's still got room for growth. He's only, what is he, 25 right now? 26.
25, yeah.
So he's about to enter like his prime. Like he just turned 26. So 26, 27 to like 32, 33 is like that peak ball year. Like, so I'm excited to see where he goes. The Bulls are finally building around him. Personally, I'd rather see him somewhere else, but I think he can actually do really well, like what you were saying, build a franchise around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And his game is mad smooth. Like that's a big thing. Kind of like with Tyler. He's got intangibles, not just off the court, but in his game that you cannot. It's just smooth, bro. It's butter. It's butter.
He's butter, and he can light you up.
Exactly. Jaylen Brown, 2-way player that like I feel like he leaves the Celtics, or say they trade Tatum. I don't see them ever doing that.
Never
but
happening.
Say like he leaves the Celtics, and you were to build. He was to lead his own franchise. Be phenomenal to watch. You know what I mean?
He's already phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, I think he can actually be more than just a Robin. He makes a great Robin. There's a lot of players that I think are peak Robins, like an AD, and I don't think they're necessarily true Batmans. Brown, bro, I think he actually has the actual potential to be a Batman. You know what I mean? So I would keep him because like his game speaks for itself, and I think he has a ceiling that some people aren't truly aware of.
Yeah, and there was like a stat last year, I think, that they were making up in the playoffs. Anytime that Jaylen Brown scored more than 25 points, I believe the Celtics were undefeated.
Oh, yeah, I remember something. I don't remember exactly.
They barely lose any games,
but yeah.
So that's a good sign.
Devin Booker. All right, this one I'm gonna be straight up. I'm relying more on the game itself. He's an offensive juggernaut. When he's on fire, he's like Kobe. Motherfucker scored 70 plus points or 70 points in the fucking a game, and it's like, bro, none of these other players when they're on fire look as like shine as much as when Booker's on fire. So I don't want to give that up. And he's finally got a Suns team to like. I think they're finally gonna build a legitimate or put effort to build around him. So I'm excited for his future. Exactly. And then Tatum is actually the weakest out of the 6. Out of the 4 that I kept, where I'm like, because he's inconsistent. That's my problem with him. Okay. But I think he can. He's also young. He's only 23. I think he's the youngest out of these 6.
He might be the youngest. Yep.
And he's got great size, plays a great position. You can build around him. So if he gets that consistency and locks it in, of course I want to see him play and like play in the league. And I just think like Simmons, it's like I'm kind of tired of his attitude from what I can see from an outside perspective. It could just be the media tainting him, and I could and it's just like, and he doesn't shoot. And I think he's a great player. I think the hype. No, the criticism on him is a little overhyped now. Yeah. Before I thought he was overhyped. Now I think it's the other way around. It's like, okay, now the bashing is a little overhyped. You know what I mean? And then Donovan, I think he's gotten lucky, quote unquote lucky, with having an organization that built a great team around him and just luckily was able to find Gobert. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you put Booker, Tatum, or Brown, or even Lavine in that Jazz squad, it'd be the same shit. Now, Donovan, I'll give it to him. He's shown the most in playoffs. Technically, I think he's the most refined out of these 6 because he's had playoff experience and he showed it out. But
out of all these guys, Donovan's the one that I want to give.
Has popped off the most.
Either Donovan, Donovan.
Because at least we saw Brown and Tatum last year.
Yeah, Donovan, I definitely want him, to give him the ball in the fourth quarter. That guy always
he's 6'1", so that kind of holds me back.
Yeah, man, but come on, man. I told you.
I'm a little judgmental with the height.
I told you several times, man. Don't be. There's some great players in the NBA that have flourished, despite being short.
Isaiah Thomas.
Chris Paul. You just said it right now, man.
How many chips does Chris Paul have?
I feel you, but
Chris Paul was one of my favorite point guards when he was young. Like, to me, to this day, one of my favorite Chris Paul is still Hornets Chris Paul.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about? New Orleans Chris Paul.
Yeah, of course.
So it's just like, now he does have that effect, and I love that. But it's like, okay, I don't think Donovan, if you were just to build around him, I don't know if he could carry a squad to the promised land. I think he could be. We're gonna see a big factor, but we'll see it this year.
We're gonna see this year, man. And
hopefully, he shuts me up.
He will shut you up, man.
Why'd you cut your two?
They're making the conference finals. The Jazz. Okay, you're gonna see it from now.
I think it's possible. I'm still leaning on second round exit.
They're making the conference finals. Anyways, look. The reason why I'm cutting off Devin Booker and Zach Lavine when it comes to this is, unlike all these guys right here, they're more one-dimensional per se. Because, okay, Ben Simmons, he can definitely set up your offense very easily. One of the best passing players in the NBA. Because I think Reggie Miller was bringing this up. People rank on him when it comes on his shooting. Mm-hmm. They don't take into effect how he sets up his team.
That's true.
And that comes to the points. And when it comes to his development as well for Ben Simmons, bro, 6'11", that guy can lock you down from 1
Magic
through
Johnson
4.
Jr.
Crazy as hell. Okay, when it comes to that, none of the other guys can offer that. When it comes to that, what was I gonna say
Donovan?
as well?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were gonna go to the next one.
No. Okay, Donovan. Already told you that it factor steps up when you need him. Jaylen Brown, two-way player. Now, of how he's developed, he can light you up and he can lock you down.
Facts.
When it comes to that, Jayson Tatum, like I was telling you in the Heat series, man, that guy was leaving me. I was so damn scared, man. I'm like 0 points in the first half, but then the second half, that guy would light you up for 40 points.
Yeah, well,
that guy gets hot, man. Nobody is stopping.
But that's what hinders me with him, like in his true potential. It's like I was scared at times during that series, but at the same time, I told you this, like, yo, they're gonna choke, because Tatum has not been able to prove that. Unlike Mitchell, that like, okay, crunch time, can you pull it up?
Now look, granted, the reason why I'm Devin Booker and Zach Lavine, they do have it in them that, in crunch time, they can get a bucket when you need them, because those guys are walking buckets.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, 70 points. Zach Lavine, smooth like butter. But look, man, none of those guys are slowing you down on defense. And if I'm building a team, I prefer to have either a two-way player or an assassin when it comes to like Donovan Mitchell when it comes to in the fourth quarter.
All right. Well, part of the reason I let go of Simmons was I have more belief in Lavine and Booker developing their defense over the years. Like you said, they're still young.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're gonna be defensive fucking gods or anything, but more actual solid. We've seen it with Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have more belief in that than Simmons developing any outside range shooting, like whether it's 3 or mid range, a consistent outside shot. I think we've closed that hope.
Yeah, I think so, man. Maybe in the future, but we'll see what happens. Guys, let us know what you guys think in the comments, man. Is there any other players that maybe you guys want us to include? Excuse me.
And which two would you cut out?
And why?
Drop your credit. I know there's gonna be strong opinions about the two that we left off individually. Like, let us know. Did we fuck up? Do you agree with us? Like, come on. Be honest. We could take it. We could take it.
Exactly, man. But either way, like Jody said,
behind the computer screen.
Appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. You catch us on Twitter, TikTok, Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. Catch you guys soon. For now,
take
later.
care.